Hi everyone, I'm the Plant Propagator and welcome to my channel. If you want to see more of my videos, it would help if you could click on like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Today, with the background noise and with my lab coat, I'm in the laboratory and I'm actually in the hood. And I wanted to share some results with you today about what happened on it. It's actually a result of one of the capsule sterilization and seed platings that I did on some of my orchid crosses, some of my Cattleya crosses. And you know, I know how to do this. I'm pretty confident that I understand how to do all these things. Been doing tissue culture and working in this aseptic environment for the past 45 years. So I know what I'm doing, but things don't always work out. And so last time I sterilized two capsules, and I took the contents and plated them in Petri dishes. And what you can see here is oops again, and then one more time. There's a little oopsie also here. Contamination, and the thing is, lots of different contamination. And I saw this a couple of days ago, and what I did, it's good to keep a close eye on the cultures and on the seeds, on everything. Make sure that the embryos within the seeds are developing normally, but also to check for contamination. So what I did on these dishes 2 days ago is I saw where the contamination was and was not, and what I did is I was very careful and stayed away from the contaminated areas, and I collected the seeds with a scupula. I essentially scraped the top of the dish, very small areas, and try to stay away. And sometimes you can't even do that. I've heard stories where you scoop out the bad stuff and throw it away. That really never works. And so what you can see is if you have good growth of your contaminant, you can stay away from it and scrape the embryos in the clean areas, but try to really stay away. And once you have fruiting fungi here with spores, you're out of luck. You open the plate up, spores are going to go everywhere. It's just too bad. But you've got some things where there's bacteria or yeast, and where it's just kind of slimy and smooth and on the top, you can stay away from those areas. So what I did is I collected some of those a few days ago. Actually, I think 3 days ago, I collected those. Replated those out on new dishes, and those seem to be clear. So I'm pretty good with that, but I tend to want to get more embryos out of these things. So what I did today is a follow-up. I actually saved, and this is Mahino Yahira Mishima times Odom's Grand Delight, and I saved some of the seed that I had scooped out of that sterilized capsule that apparently wasn't very sterile. I saved some of the seed that was in there, and what I did is I sterilized the immature seed. And I've never done that before. This is the immature seed. I've sterilized the mature seed because that's really the only way, once it's spilling out of the capsule, that's the only way to clean it up. But this time what I had is I had the seed that it was immature seed that was in the capsule that I collected in this dish, put this dish, I should say, in the refrigerator, sealed it, so it's kind of a clean environment. And today I scooped some of this sterilized seed from the sterilized capsule that wasn't really sterilized seed or sterilized capsule, and I put those in, I re-sterilized the immature seed in 10% bleach for 10 minutes. You can get away with these lower concentrations of bleach because this already should be somewhat clean. And again, this was if you'd have left this out at room temp, whatever contaminants here probably would have grown throughout slowly, because these are rich media, and so the rich media, the contaminants that are there are going to go crazy. But just the seed itself, they're eventually going to colonize the seed also. But if it was in the fridge for just a few days, and I re-sterilized that, rinsed it, and then plated it. And so what I'm hoping, and I got a lot more seed here, what I'm hoping is that with these re-sterilized seeds that I'm going to get a lot more. I looked at the seeds underneath the microscope, and the seeds look pretty good. So again, I wanted to share with you a little bit of a mistake that I made and the two methods that I try to use to recover, because it takes 6 months after you make the cross to get the seed, you know, and that's 6 months wasted if you get nothing. So again, two methods. What I did is early on, I kept an eye on it. As soon as I saw contamination, I scraped the seed out of the non-contaminated areas, and then I saved my excess seed and re-sterilized that using a much lower concentration of bleach. So just a real quick video, wanted to share that story. I'm sorry, not a success story at this point. A little bit of a failure, at least to sterilize the seed capsule, but hopefully it will end up being a success story. Okay, so that's all I have for today. Wanted to share that little story with you, and happy propagating.